name is Sissy Irwin, and I work for the Post-South newspaper in Plaquemine, Louisiana. I have a question that's really kind of been puzzling me. I have one certain advertiser who, when I go to see and approach about a special section that he run with us, he always comes across as saying, well, why would I want to run in your special section? Why can't I just run in your regular paper? I get a cheaper rate.
Welcome to the Ad Rep Roundtable, an open discussion with real advertising professionals on issues facing the newspaper industry today. The topic is the challenges of selling special sections. So how do you handle advertisers who will not entertain the idea of advertising your special sections?
It happens all the time.
That's a good question.
The experts?
Yeah.
I think a special section really targets the customer that's predisposed to make that purchase. If it's an automotive section, the person that opens that up is going to be a little bit more predisposed to buying a car. And if he or she is predisposed to buying a car because it's an auto show section and the Ford dealer is not in it, the Chevrolet dealer is there to take that customer. So it's a situation where I think you really want to make sure the advertiser understands you're doing him a service by creating this opportunity.
We have one, it's the Home and Garden, and it comes out twice a year. And a lot of the advertisers that go into the Home and Garden are the service ads that just run in classifieds, and it's really inexpensive for them to run their little one-by-one in classifieds all year long, and then we're trying to sell them, you know, this big quarter-page ad or even, you know, a 6-page ad. It's going to cost them a lot more to go in that, and their thought is, I'm getting the market all the time. You're going to put it in the same newspaper, and I'm just going to get lost with everyone else.
But what a great opportunity to reach the market that's, like Mike said, the market that's buying. It's in the market to buy either your service or your product.
And they're going to hold on to that.
I think another, I guess, mistake that ad reps make is, okay, we've got this special section coming up, and these are the people that we're going to target, but we haven't pre-warned, even though we may know it's an annual section. And that's something that you should plan with your advertisers so they can be expecting it and they can put it into their budget.
Yeah, that happens every single year. You come up and your ROP just dies when Almanac or Islander or, you know, one of the big special sections comes out, because the month before you're going all around selling that and you just kind of
How do you fix that?
forget about that.
Your ROP, your regular display advertising disappears because you're so busy trying to sell the special section and hit your goals.
Yeah.
How do you keep from losing all your regular ads in the paper when you're out pushing special sections? How do you keep that from happening?
Well, I think a lot of it is planning ahead. You know Home and Garden's coming, or you know Almanac is coming, and so when you sit down with your customer and you're planning out their year or their first 6 months, you say, oh yeah, Mr. Advertiser, you're going to be sure to want to be in this section because that's going to target your audience. And so they're kind of expecting that, and if you have a regular budget that you stay within, maybe you curve it down a little bit before and a little bit afterwards so you can get them in that special section. It's not quite the impact that it would be, you know, because they're going to drop out one way or the other, and if you can, you're going to be damaged a lot less for your revenue.
Right, it's just trade dollars usually.
Oftentimes it's trade, but you should be able to upsell them into a special section as long as you plan for it ahead of time and they're expecting it.
In a perfect world, that would be great, but it's not a perfect world, and a lot of times we're struggling to make budget. It's coming up 2 weeks before the end of the month, and we're like, oh my God, this is a great special section. Let's throw it together before the end of the month. And a lot of times, it's something good, like Who's Who. We're doing Who's Who right now. We were going to do this hometown business thing. It flopped. Nobody wanted to do it. We have to come up with $10,000 in the special section budget for January, so we're going back to our plan B. We have a week and a half to sell it, and you don't know about it before, so you really can't. And that happens monthly.
I think oftentimes we go back to the same advertisers time and time and time again.
We do.
And we don't look outside of that. We don't go outside of the box and say, who haven't we hit? You know, who would be a good prospect that I haven't called on? Yeah. You know, what would be a good product that would relate to this special section? What, you know, what client? Because, and we all do it as ad reps. We go back to where it's really comfortable, you know, and if you can generate new business with your special section, you know, through making the cold calls and making the spec ads and you know, because if a person is not a typical advertiser, they're not going to have an ad design put together. And the best place to go and look for it oftentimes is in the darn yellow pages.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, you know, that's when you need
You'll
to
look so smart coming through the door. If they have a display ad at all in the yellow pages, you say, wow, you know, or look at the signage within their business, or what do they have displayed on the windows, and you know, you can create a pretty nice spec ad, and you'll knock their socks off, because your advertiser, they can sense when you just have to make a sale.
Oh yeah. You come in there all flustered, 5 minutes. You really have to do this right now, right now. They know. You don't have a spec. You don't have anything. What should we do? I don't know. What do you want to do?
But we have to do.
We've all done it though. I haven't been there that long, and I know I've done it.
I think it's really important too to not hit the advertiser with every special section you do. You've got to pick and choose, because not every client is going to, you know, fit. A builder, for example, is not going to want to go into a destination type, you know, brochure. So it's really important to, every time you got a special section, don't hit the advertiser up so they think it's just...
to help build trust, you should tell them about all of them and say, hey, you know, we have this special section coming at destination, but I really don't think you should spend your money on it, and it just kind of helps build the relationship. I have a computer store that was really upset with me because I didn't tell them about a Thanksgiving special section we were doing. I mean, what would computer store be doing with... He wanted to be in there because he's having a big Thanksgiving sale, and I didn't tell him about it. And
yeah, you can never assume. Oftentimes, and especially if your newspaper runs a lot of special sections, and you'll come walking through the door and it's like, you must tell me about every special section. Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't, you know, because we had this one and I didn't think you were interested. Was I wrong in that?
So you're selling major, I mean, it's a lot different than having a mom and pop's candy store. I mean, they have no, a lot of times they don't know if they're going to be in business 6 months from now, and a lot of times they'll ask you, you know, hey, I'm really struggling here, help me out. And you have to be there to help them. That's kind of a favorite part of your job.
Special sections are the one thing that would really help them, because it is targeting a specific audience that would buy their product or service.
Yeah.